Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. Here are today's top stories. Piper PA-28 makes emergency landing on Florida I-10 near Pensacola. Cessna A-188B crop duster clips power lines in forced landing near Algona, Iowa. Sun Country single operating certificate will end standalone brand. TCAS saves the day. JCAB CitationJet crosses ANA 767's path at Haneda. Now for the details. A Piper PA-28 Cherokee on a training flight made a successful emergency landing on eastbound Interstate 10 near Pensacola, Florida, Monday morning, touching down near mile marker 14 at approximately 9:55 a.m. after the pilot reported fumes in the cockpit and subsequent engine failure. The aircraft was operated by Pensacola Air Flight School. Dashcam footage captured by truck driver Eric Jordan shows the Cherokee threading narrowly beneath an overhead sign assembly before settling into a gap in traffic, a maneuver witnesses described as controlled and deliberate. The pilot, identified as Emily, was a flight instructor conducting a lesson at the time. The Florida Highway Patrol and the Escambia County Sheriff's Office confirmed that neither the instructor nor the student sustained injuries. All lanes of I-10 were reopened by 1 p.m. after the aircraft was removed from the roadway. The Federal Aviation Administration has opened an investigation into the incident and the cause of the engine failure. The outcome stands in contrast to a separate emergency highway landing in Florida, in which a Beechcraft 55 came down on I-95 in Brevard County and struck a vehicle. Aviation safety experts note that successful highway landings typically hinge on a pilot's ability to manage airspeed and identify a clear touchdown zone amid active traffic and infrastructure obstacles. A Cessna A-188B agricultural aircraft, registration N731CQ, made a forced landing near Algona, Iowa on July 29, 2026, after experiencing a loss of engine power. The aircraft, operated by D&K Aviation of Milford, Iowa, clipped power lines before coming to rest on a rural property approximately 2 miles southwest of Algona, according to reports from Algona Radio. Emergency responders treated the pilot, the sole occupant, at the scene for minor cuts. No injuries were reported on the ground. Local authorities said power line repairs were required following the incident. The Federal Aviation Administration has been notified. The National Transportation Safety Board has opened an investigation, assigning event ID 226073020340 to the occurrence. A probable cause determination has not yet been released. The incident is among several forced landings involving the Cessna A-188B during agricultural operations in 2026, including a separate engine failure event in Georgia in May 2026. The issuance of a Sun Country single operating certificate will spell the end of Sun Country Airlines as an independent brand, a senior Allegiant travel company executive confirmed. Kristen Schilling-Gonzalez, Vice President of Network, Planning, and Charters, told USA Today that once the merged carrier secures the certificate, operations will continue exclusively under the Allegiant name. Allegiant's acquisition of Sun Country closed May 13, 2026, but the two carriers continue to operate separately, with distinct ticketing platforms and loyalty programs. The Federal Aviation Administration's Single Operating Certificate, SOC, is the key regulatory milestone needed to unify the carrier's safety management systems, training standards, and maintenance protocols under one framework. The SOC process typically takes 18 to 24 months, pointing to a full brand phase-out in early 2028. The combined carrier is expected to operate roughly 200 aircraft, folding Sun Country's Boeing 737-800 fleet into Allegiant's broader network. Although Sun Country's orange and blue livery will be retired, Allegiant has indicated that Minneapolis-St. Paul, MSP, will remain a key leisure gateway for the merged operation. Airline Pilots Association, ALPA. Representatives have confirmed that existing pilot contracts and seniority lists remain in place until a joint collective bargaining agreement and the SOC are finalized. The Sun Country merger integration is the latest chapter in a wave of U.S. low-cost carrier consolidation that accelerated following the shutdown of Spirit Airlines. A potential mid-air collision was averted over Tokyo Haneda Airport on October 4, 2026, after a Japan Civil Aviation Bureau JCAB Cessna Citation CJ4 crossed the flight path of an all-Nippon Airways Boeing 767-300ER, triggering a traffic collision avoidance system TCAS resolution advisory. The ANA crew immediately complied with the RA, executing a go-around to maintain safe separation. ANA flight NH968, arriving from Shanghai Pudong with 197 people on board, was on final approach to runway 34R when the conflict occurred. The government-operated Citation CJ4, registration JA01G, had departed runway 05 on a flight inspection mission, performing radio and ILS calibration checks. Flight tracking data indicate the two aircraft reached a minimum vertical separation of approximately 75 to 100 feet and a lateral distance of roughly 0.66 to 0.77 nautical miles. The ANA crew discontinued their approach and eventually landed safely on their third attempt at approximately 0610 local time. Japan's Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism has opened a formal investigation into the incident. A critical early finding is that the TCAS unit aboard the JCAB CitationJet was inoperative at the time of the encounter, meaning the inspection aircraft crew received no simultaneous alert. Industry observers note the event reinforces a foundational lesson from the 2002 Überlingen mid-air collision. Under international standards, TCAS resolution advisories take precedence over air traffic control instructions. A protocol the ANA crew followed precisely, averting a potential tragedy over Tokyo Bay. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.